Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man, Bad Chad, and we're in Australia working on a ute. 1982 is what I'm finding out. This is going to be the owner. Her father is a good man, and he wants his daughter to have the vehicle that he would love to have as a young man. And I'm not sure if you realize how your father feels about the car and that sort of stuff. But this is going to be her first car, truck, I guess. The ute is from Australia, is it not? Is that where it's...
Correct.
Correct, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And your name is?
Kiah.
Kyle. And Kyle, this is going to be Kyle's first car. Do you have a color that you want to paint it?
I'm wanting to go blood red.
Blood red.
Yes.
Can we leave the blood out of it? You want it red?
Yeah, red.
Red. Do you mind? Do you mind red? We call it resale red. Usually if you have something red, people enjoy that color. But we have a little bit of rust on it, and we have, your name is Dave. Dave is the owner of this joint. He has his son working with him, his other son working with him. He's actually going to be doing the metal work to it, but we've been invited from the car club to come in and do some metal work to it. So I'm just going to give his son's, what's your name? I'm just going to give Brendan a head start because Brendan's really going to be doing the work on it. I'm just lucky enough, I'm just going to do one piece, and we're going to try to do it within the hour. And here we go. So I'm going to cut that out. Yep. We're going to take a piece of metal, and then we're going to replace it back in, and try not to get hit by any sparks. And I'm going to go for it, so you all can see how I do it. I got a box here. Thank you very much.
Oh, all good.
Thank you very much. Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
I was going to say she's available, boys, but I can't say that. And here we go. So I got a extra dry box. That's perfect. That's the Australian way, is it not? Is this a beer box?
Yeah, it is, correct.
Perfect. He's got me a pen. Generally, what I do is I would make the piece, lay it over top of it, and I'd spot it on. And then what I would do is I'd come along with a zip cut and zip cut all along the edge and butt weld that in there. And when I'd come to the back side, I'd grab that piece and I'd pull it out. I cannot do that on this one here because I cannot get on the back side of this because it's covered in. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut this out, fabricate a piece, and put it back in. So there's more than one way to skin a cat, obviously, but this piece is going to have to come out as one piece. I see we got some rust down here on the sill, and that will be another piece because you can see the factory seam down here, and we're going to keep the factory seam just so it looks the way it should look, and that'll be another piece. But we're going to do this piece here right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark it where I want it cut out. I see, obviously, Brendan, is it?
Yep, correct.
Brendan has cleaned it all off, so we know where the rust is. We might as well take it all out. What I would like to do is I would like to keep this square and just to keep it as nice as possible. I wouldn't want to draw a line down like this, or I'd want to make it straight. So I'd want a nice straight line across here, try to make it look the best it can. And where this comes over this side and has a lip, there's probably an 2-inch lip on this side. The rust is not affected on this side, so I'm going to leave that lip. So when it comes time to paint and repair it, this lip is here, so it looks factory. So basically all we're going to do is we're going to cut this piece out. Let's do it. Let's draw a line here. We're going to go down here. We're going to go down just above that seam. We're not going to get into that because there's no repair that has to be done there. And we're going to get back, so we get a little pinhole here. We're going to get back there far enough that we're going to get that. Just kind of looking at it for a second, we have a little bit of a shape going on here. It's not a hard shape, it's a round shape, but there's a little pinhole right here. But when it comes back here, this is going to turn over around here like this a little bit. So when you get something going this way and this way, it becomes a little bit trying. So I'm just looking at it. I'm basically going to cut it back here, and I'm going to try to keep that straight, and I'm going to get that pinhole. What I was thinking, if I can keep it up here, I could do just this shape, and I would have no problem with this because I wouldn't have to make that shape. But if I cut it up here, I still get these pinholes here that I'm not liking. I might as well go back and make that shape. So let's get a zip cut rocking and rolling. I'll cut that bad boy out. I do not think I need the beer box. And the reason I don't think I need the beer box, thank you. I don't think I need the beer box because when I cut this piece out, I'll use this exact piece for my pattern. Like, I'm going to use that piece for my pattern. So let's cut it out. I borrowed the glasses from the gentleman over there, and yeah, let's do it. Just wondering if there's a window there or not. There's no window? No, no window. There's our piece, pretty basic. We're gonna clean this out. Who is that little guy? Huh? That's a mouse in the house. So we'll blow this out. You want to give me you got a blowgun or anything like that? I love having someone help me because I just don't have to run as hard. I'll take this in now. I think I had a great show when we were home in Nova Scotia. I fixed a truck for a man, or for a friend of mine. We welded it all up and we did not undercoat it and people were upset. Well, I'm going to tell you something. When you build a house, gutter is the last thing that goes on. When you fix a car, undercoating is the last thing that you do. I can't undercoat something that I'm going to weld. That's something that you would do after you're done. You would not try to undercoat that, stick a bunch of stuff in there, and then weld it and catch it on fire. It's probably not the way to do things if you want to be safe, sort of. What we can do is clean that up the best we can. If we have anything you want to spray on there before we do it, you can. But basically what would happen, you would come in here and you would know that repair was there. You could pull out this vent. You could shove oil in there, undercoating in there, whatever you want in there, so you know it goes down in there and undercoats. If you do not know about undercoating, undercoating takes off and it kind of creeps everywhere. So when you're, when you do a rust repair like this, you come in here and you spray your undercoating. Obviously, it's going to come down here because I can see. You spray your undercoating in from here, or you drill a hole somewhere, and then you would undercoat all that in there. If you do not realize, when he strips the paint off this sill and strips all the paint off of this, you must realize that the inside of the car looks like that. So for him to, it's okay, to think about it for a second. If you strip the paint off this and you repaint that, the inside looks like that. So for me to repair it and it still looks like that on the inside, it's just as good as that. Does that make sense? Like I can't, you'd have to disassemble the whole truck to do that sort of stuff. I try to explain that to people, but sometimes they don't get it. Let's blow that out. All right. It looks in real good shape anyways. You can see all the seams and that stuff. It looks good. Do you have a spray balm of any sort at all? Like nothing at all? Okay. So what would happen is the undercoat is going to be done after the vehicle's done. This is the piece that we have. This truck looks in really good shape, you know, for what it is. This is the piece that we have. Let's transfer it onto a piece of metal. Do you have a blowgun at all? Like a blowgun I can hook in there and just keep blowing?
No.
Nothing like that at all? We'll be fine. We'll be fine. So I'm just going to take this piece of metal here and just transfer it onto this metal. And we have a really, that's really thick. Whoa, that's thick. Not big enough. Have anything thinner than this at all? We kind of got like a plate going on there, but hey, it's not going to go anywhere. So we'll just trace it on here until see if he got something else. So I always go to a straight edge if I'm doing this sort of stuff. What's that? Flip it around this piece. Yeah, just kind of a little small. I guess it's close. Beggars can't be choosers, is what you're telling me?
Yeah. Yep.
Good. So I'm just going to try to find the straightest edge here and try to get it rocking and rolling. You can see the round piece I have got going on here. Let's do this. See how that's got a shape to it there?
Yep.
Let's do it. Let's trace this bottom off. Now, you must realize that, or I don't know if you realize or not, but that black mark is bigger than the pattern that we have because it's on the outside of what I'm doing.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, you understand that. I'm just going to push it down here. Got my straight line there. Now I'm going to try to roll that down where it was. Just trying to get the okay, I'm going to go with it. Just kind of use that as the pattern. I'm going to zip cut this off. I'll bring it over. We got some heavy gauge, but that's fine. On this side, I feel like I can cut the line. On this one, I feel I can cut the line, but that one there, I'm going to probably leave the line just because it had that roll up a little bit.
Yep.
And if, once I roll it up, I might need
It'll
some
shrink a
yeah.
little bit. Yep.
Jolie looks amazing today. She woke up at 7 looking like a 10. She's my lovely lady. Don't you look at her. I'm just joking, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm going to get the pattern back because I don't know which way I had it. What I usually say is back off, boy, she's mine. Alrighty. This is what we got going on. That's it. Now I'm going to have to find out how I did that again. That one don't look bad, does it that way? Nope, that ain't it. That's not it. Let's try this one. It's going to be a guessing game for a second.
Looks like it that way.
I'm saying that's it.
Yep.
So we'll just pick this up. I'm going to take off the sharp stuff. That's the top. That's the back. That's the front. That's the... Can I knock this off? This is a white coat. This metal generally, this is probably a fairly old piece of metal, but generally this metal does not rust. It's got like a coating on it, like a galvanized coating on it. So I am going to have to clean off the edges where I weld it, just because they're going to make it a little easier to weld it. I've got this shape here, so I'm going to try to make this shape as we get going here. I'm just going to take this shape, put it on here, and I'm going to mark where it's bent. And I'm saying the center of the bend. We can see the center of the bend. You can see the center of the bend.
Yep.
I'm going to mark it right there. Or I'm going to give me the center of the bend right around there somewhere. And I'm going to go to this side. And I'm going to do the exact same sort of thing. I'm going to say the center of the bend's here somewhere. It's got a funny shape right here. It's got it's bent here, but it's got a funny shape back here. We might have to do a little bit of work to get that. I'm just going to move these for a second. Just going to bend that a little bit. We're working with some heavy gauge stuff here. And it has not got a sharp line in it. It's just got a bend in it. I'm happy with it all the way. I'm happy with it all the way till I get to about here. And I think what we're going to do is I'm going to try to bend it. I'm going to what I'll do is I think I'll get it tacked in place, and then I'm going to hit it with a hammer, because I'm feeling like I can get it in place. And then I can deal with the shape after I get it in place. I want just a little more bend on it. Just a little bit. I'm not going to break into the song, don't worry. You're not worried, are you? You don't give a shit. You don't give a shit. So what we'll do is we'll put it in where it fits. I think you're going to let me use this, are you?
Yeah, mate.
Ooh, look at that bad boy. Just going to clean this edge up just a little bit better.
Slide that forwards and then pull the trigger.
Yeah. All right. Don't know how to use the tools. Going to go the other way. If you get going this way on it, it could catch and tear all your material off. I might as well turn around and go this way. This way here, the sandpaper is going this way instead of me ripping the sandpaper off. I like it. It's nice. I like it. That's just so it welds a little bit better, because this has got white coat on it and it's like a galvanized. I've got a little place that's not fitting exactly perfect yet. You can see when I set it in here at this corner, it fits pretty nice all the way along there, but it still needs a little bit of a bend, see that?
Yep.
See, it's not bending there enough. I'm just gonna bend it a little bit more. A lot of swamp ass here in Australia. It must hurt sometimes working in the heat so bad, like it does.
Yeah.
Not hurt, but just kind of
Takes
slow
you
a
out of
person
it.
down. Like,
Yeah.
all right. I'm liking it because this corner here is fitting here. That corner up there is fitting up there. When we get this all tacked in place, then we can try to deal with that. You know what I mean?
Reshape
Yeah,
it.
we'll get that in shape. Let's get that welder going. I got a helmet. Would you have, we'll just continue on for a second and then we'll see if we need anything as I get going.
Yep.
Did you want me to put like a headband on if I'm using this, or
No.
you don't care if my sweaty head goes in this thing?
Nah, mate.
All right. Alrighty. Dad's gonna step in and help us. That's always the way, isn't it? Dad's got to help us do with everything, you know what I mean? Dad's got to help.
Fellas,
Huh?
young fellas.
Young fellas these days don't know shit. And I'm one of them young fellas, you know? Believe me. Alrighty. We do not, what we're going to do is we're just going to knock off a little something here to get some ground, because we're not really going to get the ground. I'm hoping that'll give it to us. It might not, but I'm hoping it will. This truck's in really good shape. Yeah, it is in really good shape. Your daughter's name is Kyle? Kiah. You're a lucky lady. Your dad cares about you. Don't forget it. Your dad cares about you. What I'm going to do is generally what I say is you tack it in one place, you can move it, you tack it twice, it's over. It's over. Okay, cool. I'm not used to the welder yet. I'm not going to use that as a full-time excuse, but when I bugger up, I will. Okay, I got it tacked on once here. I can move it around still. I see that I've got a little bit of a gap going on here. I'm not going to be able to butt weld it. I'm going to have to run the zip cut through it again to get it, if you know what I'm trying to tell you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, don't you? I'm just going to move it over here a little bit. Actually, what I'm going to do is make sure I'm going to butt it up this side because it's fitting good. I want to burn my finger, but I will.
You want
I have to. Cool. We still got movement, and I'm still happy. That's good. Basically, what I'm trying to do is you get it like a screwdriver. Oh, that pair of scissors will do if you don't, instead of running. Thank you. I enjoy having the man right there. I enjoy that. I'm just going to, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this out a little bit. You can see where it's not flush there like that. See how it's above?
Yep.
I'm talking to you because you're the only one really paying attention. I'm just going to, just want to see here for a sec. No, I'm going to come down here and tack it. And the reason being is because it's fitting good, it has to be tacked. Doesn't look that great, but that's okay. I've got a grinder. I basically just want to grind that weld off. I don't want to grind anything else off, so that's why I'm going slow. Back in order. Back in order. I want to pull that out a little bit just so I can get it flushed off, and then see if I pull this out a little bit, then I can weld it where it's nice and flush. Now it's flush.
Yep.
Then I can push that in. If I try to weld that, if I weld that now, then I'm gonna see a little bit of weld, and I'm not gonna, do you understand what I'm doing? Like, I'm gonna pull that out just so I can flush it off better. See how it's flushed off there nicer?
Yep.
And the reason I tacked the bottom, because it moved on me. Just gonna knock that on there a little bit. Oh, drop a little bit of weld. Good. Got that tacked in there. Just hold that for a second. This is where a third arm comes in nice, and I'm going to use a piece of square stock. I laid a piece of square stock. We're going to go get it. Oh, hammer will do. I'll show you what I mean by. If I take and go like this is the third arm, so I can go like this, and then I can weld and hold my hand with my welder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that in there like that. I'm going to flush this corner out so I can. Good. Now this is what I'm going to do. See how that's all floppy like that? I'm going to just push it to it. That's good enough. Oh, didn't stay. All right, now we're overlapped there, right?
Yep.
But that's what I want. I want it to hold there, and this is what I'm going to do. Watch. Run my zip cut through it. I'm not going to run the zip cut right straight through like that. I don't want too big of a gap. So what I'll do is take the zip cut and lean it down like that. Run the zip cut along with this piece of metal.
Yep.
Now I can take this bad boy. It's flushed off right there. The gas seems to be running quite heavy on your welder. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I don't know if you have to fix it right now or not. Do you have a pair of pliers? I think I had to pull that wire out there. Just gonna run that again. Just pull it out. Okay, cool. Just gonna take my third arm hammer. Just push it in so it's flushed, right? So now we're flushed off. We're taking. Nope, we're not gonna push that in because it's gonna distort it. We'll just cut it now. We'll just cut it a little bit further. Match it up. Push that in. Now we're going to have to probably get something there and pry that out, I see. We don't want to push it in too far because we want it flush. I might need a, no, I like that there. It's not bad. Let's tack it down here where it's nice. Have a screwdriver or anything I can poke in there? And flathead, please and thank you, like a small one. I'd get up and run myself, but this is not my shop. this is his shot. He's helping me. I'll take the smaller one. Yeah, take the smaller one. So I want to get that in there and pry that out somehow. Come on out. Want to get that out. There we go. That fits really nice right there at that corner. So I'm going to nail it. Oh, you dirty dog. That's what you call that. That sucks. That's the way it goes. Wrong screwdriver. Smaller one. Do that again. This time we won't let it go before I get it. Now, we are fitting absolutely gorgeous along the bottom. It's fitting nice along there along the bottom, so we're going to weld it. A little, push that back in. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing the back here. That there is not, see how that's in there a little bit? It's over, like it's over a little bit. I don't want that. Do you have a body hammer at all?
What's that?
A body hammer? No. Okay. So you're working with the bare minimum.
Pretty much.
Good man.
What you say is what I got.
All right. Just going to tack that in there to make that fit nice. See how it fits nice there now?
Yep.
Okay, we're just going to go along and get that fit nice all the way up through. This is where that third arm comes in nice to push the metal in and do the same thing. Yep. I'm just going to tack that there because it's fitting really nice. When it fits nice, weld it. If it don't fit nice, don't weld it. Alrighty, this is where the deal comes in. Get my hammer. Alright, that's gonna go good. Fantastic. Piece of piss. Piece of piss. You know what piece of piss means? Easy. We're going to push it until it fits right. Hold it till the red's off. Because if you don't hold it till the red's off, then it'll move on you, right?
Correct.
Now we got to get that corner going around. I might as well push on it now while we have some strength going on, right? Try to get it bent in shape. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the zip cut on top of that because it's overlapping. And I'm going to weld it right there because it fits good, if you know what I'm trying to tell you. Yep. Where it's fitting there good now, there's no sense me trying to keep pushing on it if I haven't got anything to hold it there. So I'll push it in a little bit, weld it where it fits. And then we'll try to beat it around. It's the time to beat it when everything's holding, if you know what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah. We're not quite using a body hammer, but we're using what he has. And basically what this shows is that you don't need every tool in the world to do a body job on a truck or a car or anything. All you need is the will and the want. I keep saying that, the will and the want. You might need a welder or two, maybe. We're going to slide this up in here. That's where the third arm would come in nice. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the zip cut through that a little bit, give us a little more space, because it's overlapping a little bit. Up there, you see that it's overlapping there again? Don't want to do that. See if we can't get that corner in there to fit. Where's that corner at? There we go. I need to get that a little bit further. I'm going to hit it with a hammer. And I see that it's going to need more. That's where you're going to need that. Just burn that off. Gear yourself up a third arm. That's fitting nice there. Now, where we have that in there, now we're going to put this in there. Let's zip cut it again. We'll only weld it if it comes together flush. If it doesn't come together flush, we won't weld it. Be nice to. Gonna beat on just a little bit more. Now that that's holding that, now I can probably I'm going to run the zip cut through it because it's overlapped just a little tiny bit. And me opening that up is allowing for penetration, you know, if you know what I'm saying. Yep. I'm going to push it in with my hammer third arm. Just going to knock this in a little bit. Just a little bit. Alrighty, we basically got it in there now. It's all butt welded in, so there's no overlap going on. And the only reason we don't want overlap is because when it comes time to fill it out, if it's overlap, well then you have to, the fill has to go the distance of the metal and the weld to cover it. It's just like doing the drywall on your house. Just like doing the drywall, you do not want to see anything. We got a little bit coming out here at top, so I'm just going to touch it with the hammer. We don't want to distort anything. We just want to fix it. So I'm going to go up here and tack it. Just checking it out, see what we got. Everything's going great. Alrighty, what I'm saying is that the piece is in. What has to happen, or what I think should happen, doesn't matter, I guess. Shut that off. How do I shut that off? Don't know how to shut that off? So basically we got the piece in, we're not overlapped anywheres, we got a nice strong piece of metal in there. Where it's all welded like that, every inch apart, that's when I'd start welding it up. But what I suggest is, you have an air line there. Now that you have it like this, I would continue, like if you want to give me your air line for a second, what I would do is I would go along there and go between each one of those and put another spot of weld on that. And then what happens is every time I weld on, I'd use the air hose to cool it off so it doesn't get all messed up. We don't want to distort that. If you feel that, just come feel that. There's nothing going on there. Yep. This metal here is thicker than that metal. We can also shape this a little bit. Now that that's welded on there, it can be rounded up there. What I would do, he does not have an air gun, so you can go off and on. He'll have to get himself one. And every time, if you're going to weld that up, I'd weld a little tiny bit, one spot at a time. I'm going to show you what I mean, just so you know. Okay. Let's turn that welder back on. So basically, he wants to put no heat in this situation that we got going on there, because nothing is distorted or anything. So where it's welded up like this every inch, you would want to come back around and get in between each one of those. I'm just going to show you on top. I need them glasses. Where'd I put them little glasses?
No, just
I'll break your glasses if I don't want to. Where this is like this, I would want to go around tack between each one of those. It only makes sense to move around. That piece there can come off. So when you get it like that, give me your air hose. Yep, it's right there. No rush. How do I just push that in?
Yeah, just push it in.
Nope, it must not be on. That's okay. So now you get it blown off, it's pretty cool. And then you would do it again, but what you do is you go in between this one, in between that one, in between that one, in between that, you know what I mean? Or you just sort it all
Spread
out.
it out.
Then you grab your air again, and then you blow it off again. So I'll do it again, just for your shits and giggles. Drop some weld there. So. So now we're getting closer. We put that air piece chuck in there again. So now that you got, like, say, now we got that, like, you got a few more places you can tell that, like, that one needs to be done. That one needs to be done. Then, like, you close it in there, and all the places that have a little distance in between them, you're trying to get them all the same. Yep. And then what I'm saying, after we get that done and you get it blown off, this is what I would do. This is what I would do. Now you have that distance. I like 4 spots at a time. I try never continuously weld it because it's going to get hot. This is the exact same thing as if you pump your brakes when you're coming down the hill. Keeps your brakes cool. If you want to hold your brakes all the way down, you know what happens? You've got your brakes so hot that sometimes you got drum brakes, you're not going to have any brakes by the time you get down. If you go and weld that down, you're going to have a mess. It's going to be warped up on you because the heat's going to go crazy. What the game on this part is try to keep the heat contained. So now that you've got it all the way around, we haven't heated it up nowheres, we're spotting it, just like you're pumping your brakes.
Yep.
We did that far first, and then we went in between them, got them connected. So now I'm saying, we got a little wind coming through the door, I'm not sure if that's gonna hold me up, so I'm just gonna take and do this. So 1 spot, 2 spot, 3 spot, 4 spot. We're on to the air. We're saying that's cool. We'll move around. I'll do the easiest spots because that's kind of where it's at. And every time you do that, try to let the red go right before you hit it again. We're just blow that, clear that off. I can almost touch it. No heat there if I can touch it, right?
That's good.
So we'll just go up here. Let the red go away. Get yourself a blow gun. That way there you can have it there ready for you at all times. You can just pick it up and blow it cool. So that's what I suggest on the whole thing. We'll just take and scrub it off of this and just show you what we're going for. When you're grinding that, we don't want to grind that, or we don't want to grind that. We have nothing against it. All we want to do is make that look nice. Yep. So we'll just try to keep it on that side. So, I don't know, if you want to come over and take a look, so we're basically looking for that. So when you put the spots of weld on, you're laying your welder on halfway on top of that. So it's almost like a row of quarters you want. You want this when you're welding that on there. 1 spot. When you spot it again, you want to put your wire right there. And then you'll have another puddle like that. You'll put your wire right there, have another puddle like that. When you turn that red, you're going to wait till that red's gone, and then you're going to put your wire there and put another spot. As soon as you're done that 4 spots, you're going to put the air on that because you don't want the heat to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Also, when you overlap them like that, then when you grind it off, you can get that look.
Yeah.
And if you do a neat job all the way around, imagine what that will look like.
Won't even notice it.
Yeah, you won't even notice. And obviously, there's going to have to be filler on it. This metal was a little thick for what's going on, but that's never going to rot out again. And there's no warpage going on. He should have a air gun so he can have it hooked up so he can put that air on it as soon as it's done. Yep. But basically what you want to do is every time you weld that, like say I put 4 there, you want to take 4 and put it over here. Yep. The next time you do 4, you want to put it over here. and then you want to put it over there, and then you want to go all the way around till it'll look like a monkey's ass when you're almost done. It won't look that great. But if you keep that welder going like that, overlapping it, when you grind it off, you'll have something that's really nice. Try not to. I know what happens. I've done it myself many times. Try not to take too much metal away from that. That piece there, I would say that's fine to take metal away from because it's probably 16 gauge, probably, or better. But this is just sheet metal. So if you can keep it going like that, you're able to knock it off like that, you'll have a nice panel when you're done. If you see any spot or pinholes in it when you're done, basically you can try to shove a light in there. If you can see any light come through it, make sure you just spot it up again. But have that air hose with you, knocking all the hot air off, and try to move around and go around. So if you start going all the way across there, this is going to look like a monkey's bum. If you know what I'm saying. We seen a monkey bum at the zoo and it didn't look that good, did it, sweetheart? It was red and ooh, it looked sore. But anyways, that's basically what I would do. And before anything happens, he can obviously take that grinder and rub that white coat off, because that white coat's going to have to be rubbed off for the filler to stick. And then you're going to come down here and do the exact same thing on this piece, and then the next piece, and then the next piece, and try to do the best you can. And just trying to flush the metal off the best you can. And that's all you can ask for. And then Kiah or Kiah. Man, I can't say Carabel or Carabin. I still can't say it. But anyways, that makes me human. Making mistakes makes you human. So when you're doing that sort of stuff, just try to keep the heat contained on that. I'm not sure how do you shut that off. And also this video proves that anybody could fix their own car. And the reason being is we had a maul hammer, a zip cut, an air fitting, a welder, and a flapper wheel. So we did not have everything that's exactly needed to make something. I don't know if we can take that off, shut that, no, leave that open. Just to shut it, see you've got the door gap, like the door gap has not been changed, I don't think. So basically that's what's going on there. And he'll go all the way around that and try to make that as nice as possible like that. He'll feather wheel it off after it's done, and he'll go from piece to piece to piece to piece. And basically you want to just try to keep that air flow on that so it does not go anywheres and get warped up. And that's the biggest problem when someone puts something on there, is throwing too much heat at it and having it go bloop, and then you have to put a bunch of filler in it. And also, the thing with the welder like that, we don't want anything popping off, so that's why we try to overlap one spot at a time, and we're pumping the brakes by putting one dot at a time, so it does not get too heated up. Like you obviously could take the welder and run across there and do that, but it's just like the brake pads, it gets heated up. If we overlap them like that, then you can grind it off, then you've got no pinholes. And if you do at the end when you grind it off, go back in with your welder and just spot it and flapper wheel it off again, and then go for the next one. All right, everybody, that's the end of it. If you like what's going on in the video.
Yeah, great job, Chad. Thank you very much. And thanks to Tweed Valley Auto Electrics. So Dave and Brendan over there. And for our American viewers, I guess that's an Australian El Camino.
And you love it.
Love it. So every young man wanted one of these growing up there. Some say the last of the true Holdens, so before they become plastic cars. So yeah, it's a great little project, and for every hour that I'm spending on it, she's been in the shed with me as well, and she's been washing dishes at a local pub. So every cent that I spend on it, she's been spending on it as well. So
what you're saying is that she's going to work.
She's been working very hard for the last year.
Well, what I generally tell, I ask the kids if they have a dream, just because some kids don't know to have a dream. Like basically everybody should have a dream, because if you do not have a dream, it cannot come true. And probably dreaming is the only thing in life that's free. Yep. And you'll find that out, obviously. And if you have a dream, the only way it can come true is you put your work pants on, work clothes. Every dream has work clothes on, if you know what I'm saying. So good on you.
Keep at it.
Good on you. But
she's driving that old girl, so she may be only 16, but she drives a blown Hemi around.
Well, I want that.
And different things, yeah.
Come on, Dad, I want that. So
Yeah, very
that's
lucky.
her father's 32 Ford with a Hemi in it. Every car down here, like I said, loves blowers. But if you like what's going on, we just did a little video in here in Australia, and it's been a lot of fun. Actually, you've been a lot of fun just paying attention, you know what I mean? Like, awesome. You have not got a whole lot that you should maybe get a body hammer, maybe a blowgun, and I'd say go for it from there, but I get yourself a blowgun. But if you like what's going on, like, subscribe, comment, and come back tomorrow. We'll be here in Australia.
We've got 7 months to finish it before she gets a full
7
license.
months?
Yeah.
That's less than a pregnancy. Oh, that's the truth. Don't say that. Made you laugh. All right, everybody, check you later. Have a good one. Come back tomorrow.